Po, 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 po. Hello, 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 hello. No, man. No, I think this YouTube thing is gonna make me no. Anyway, Sunny night, guys. Dumelang. Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, guys, to my new subscribers, new viewers, you guys are most definitely welcome. To the old ones, it's love, guys. It's love, it's love, it's love, 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 love from me to you. So, yeah, guys, please also, the ones who are actually viewing and haven't subscribed, yes, please do the right thing and subscribe. Thank you. And press that bell button for notification also. So, yeah, guys. Namuhla, today it's one of those days I just wanted to talk about. I feel, Guti, I got scammed into fat and set. And for someone who doesn't know, Guti, yini fat and set, labanye bathi fat and set kuhlalisana, kukipita, ngesingisi bathi to cohabit. I think if I pronounce it correctly, okay, my boobies are not behaving. Okay. So bathi kukipita is to cohabit, meaning Guti is to live with someone. Ningakashadi, not married, without being married, but you live with them and you have tough relationship with them as well. Like staying with someone, dating someone and staying together without being married. And yes, guys, also as gay people, we do that. So don't be surprised or shocked, right? And also to them ladies, please also open your eyes, shine your eye on your boyfriends who are sharing. What are the chances of them? Because maybe they are. I didn't say anything. But anyway, guys, I met this man. Let me correct this. I met this guy. I'm saying this guy because he was younger than me, so I'm not going to say this man. This guy. A few years ago. So, that is the first time I moved to Tembisa. So, when I met this man, this guy, this guy. This guy. So when I met this guy, we were chatting, me and this guy. So this guy went to some show somewhere and he said, "Oh, I'll probably be around the area. Like, can I see you?" I'm like, "No problem. I'm off. I'm not doing anything. So no problem. Chill. It's okay." Met this guy, we chilled, had good vibes, and I enjoyed his company, enjoyed my company, and that was that. He left. So it happens because now we're chatting with this guy. He enjoyed the vibes, I enjoyed the vibes, and we started talking. So now I started seeing guy more. But then besingakashelani yes yet. Then until it got to a point where siyashelana now and we are dating. So the reason I feel because I got scammed into fat and set is because we didn't have an agreement. I didn't agree him staying with me or moving in with me, So the guy, what he did usually, please guys also be careful. This is a lesson. I hope you listening, guys. So the guy usually would come and visit for a night. And whenever he would come, he would leave something that belongs to him. So, and sometimes like he will come, it is cold and he will want to maybe take a jersey that is mine or wear something that is mine and leave his stuff and take mine home, and that has been that. So now as he visits more often, the more his clothes are being left behind at my place. So now you start noticing that the wardrobe is getting a full, Then again, check with man, wardrobe yagcwala, and most of these clothes are not mine, and they're the next person. And Jiggy, now I realize he would come at night, see me, sleep for the night, in the morning he would leave, and I'll go to work. And during the day, he would text and say, "Hi, I miss you." I'm like, "Oh, chilled. Come over late." He would come over late and see me. Sometimes like, "Okay, you're off for the weekend. Can I see you for the weekend?" I'm like, juice bananas, not a problem, come and see me. He would come and see me. So now I realized, guy is visiting, wants to, like, came to visit, but he's not leaving, you know. And now I don't know with other people, but on my side, I'm thinking, okay, how do I even ask someone that, like, how do you ask someone you're dating, would say, when are you going back home or when are you leaving? Because the minute you start saying that, back in my head, I'm thinking, would say, when I ask that, you'll probably think, with maybe I have plans or I have other things that I want to do when he's not around. In as much as it is inconveniencing for me that I didn't have the bone or the guts to actually even ask, would say, when are you going back home? When are you leaving? So that is how Mugai actually moved in, you know, because now he was no longer going home. Instead, he was going home to visit and come back. You understand? He was going home to visit, see them, and come back. So that is how I feel I got scammed into VAT EN SIT. And it was my first time staying with a guy, so I didn't know how it got there or saw the flex of him moving in. You know, I didn't know what it takes for one to move in, because I felt in most cases it's supposed to be a conversation that you have with your partner and come to an agreement. It was okay, it's fine, I think we can move in together and all that. But in this case, it was not like that. And now I was in a VAT EN SIT relationship. I was in that setup, you know? So again, now the tricky thing is that I'm in a VAT EN SIT with this guy. At that time, at that point in time, guy, he's not working. Now, wrong, please don't get me wrong. This is just can be an eye opener for the next person. That can be like, I think someone out there somehow can relate. So I'm in a relationship with this guy. We're staying together, and he's not working. So which makes me the sole provider in the house. So that means rent is, you know, facing this guy. The landlord has to deal with this guy. Food has to deal with this guy. But that was not an issue because I was doing that on my own. You know, I was renting on my own and I was buying food. But now that meant me buying for two instead of buying for one. You know, like buying enough for both of us. And that was not a problem. That was not a problem, you know, because also on his side, somewhere somehow he was trying to be handy. You know, he was a lazy man, but he did, you know, he did assist here and there, because sometimes he come back home, he cooked, he cleaned, sometimes he did laundry. But most of the time, you know, would say, I'm gonna find the house being upside down, or you know, I don't know, maybe it's a condition that I have or something. I like my things done in a certain way or placed in a certain way in the house. And some things, they freak me out when I'm in a I'm in the house and I feel good, say, no, this is not straight, this is not positioned correctly. Then, you know, that kind of situation, you know. So I felt good, see, that was a bit, it needed me to adjust and loosen up on certain things, because now I'm staying with this guy and I don't know how he was raised, because that is also important. I don't know how he was raised. I don't know how he was raised and how he does his things, where he comes from. And also on my side, I was raised in a certain way and I do things in a certain manner, you know. So that was a bit tricky for me in that setup, and I had to come to a point where I had to actually make peace with the fact that now this guy, like, he's depending now on me, you know, to for certain things. And also, you being a partner who is in love with someone, you need to be considerate. Would say, now you staying with someone who is not working. First thing, you cannot make the next person feel useless simply because they are not working. You need to be accommodative. You need to include them. Like, I think also in decision making, irrespective of whether the money is coming from you or what, but you need to have them involved. Good see, sometimes allow them to go and buy a grocery. Let them pay, give them money to go and pay rent. Let them have things that they do without them feeling what they are useless in the house because you are the one who is working and they're not working. And now it goes to a point where now you need to respect also their decision, in as much as you feel like you are the one who's doing most of the things, but you need to also respect their decision on certain things. And also, uma uhlala with someone, guys, you need to know ukuthi chores, and as much as he's not working, they're not only for him. One way or the other, you also have to do your part as you are working. So now, me, I used to do things for myself, so I was not expecting him to do much because some things I was used to doing them and I was comfortable with that. So now you need to adjust with, okay, he needs to do that, I need to do that, he needs to do this, I need to do that. And now going to work as well, in as much as there's enough grocery in the house, you cannot just pack your bags and go to work. In as much as there's bread in the house, I think it was only fair at that time for me to leave something, every day on a daily basis without fail, to leave something to say, without even saying, would it go and buy this or this is for this, I would leave it on the side table and go to work. And that money, he knew that it's either for bread, and I would tell him, okay, sometimes get yourself something. It means, if it means getting a quota like bunny chow, if it means you getting yourself cold drink during the day or buying bread or whatever that you're craving, go and get it, so that you don't feel like I'm stuck in this four walls and there's none to do, there's no cash, there's nothing, So that I felt good. See, it was a sense of responsibility or something that I needed to do. And also, how I was raised was to think for the next person. So that was me there thinking for the next person. And I had to do that. I had to do that, and I had to be that guy. And now I have to be in a position I would say, now he's staying with me. That means sometimes I'll have his friends over to visit. Whether I'm in the mood for pips or not, there will be his friends who are visiting because they eventually want to know, where are you staying, friend, and who you're staying with and all that. Now I actually had to have the mindset that would say, chances I might get home and his friends will be over and would be in the house, and I have to, be there and entertain, and sometimes as we stay together, I needed to respect also the fact that they might not be in the mood some days, because we individuals, guys, and there are days where you don't feel like doing anything. There are days where you do not feel like talking. It happens. There are days where you feel your moods are just off, and I had to respect that in as much as we're staying together, I don't need to be in his face. Maybe he's going through a certain thing that he needs to deal with. He needs to deal with it alone at that time. I need to also give him time to take a breather, and connect with self without me being on his face. In as much as we stay together, but it was important for me to give that. It's in as much as Slala Songe, but I need to give you that time. And now staying together meant him wearing my clothes. That meant him wearing my clothes, which was not a problem. Was not a problem because if you're dating someone, guys, that is not an issue. If we are the same size, you feel like wearing my thing, wait. As long as you respect it, wait. That is not a problem. I had to adjust to that. Remember, that time I've never stayed with anyone, so I need to adjust to the fact that he would wear my things. There is no escape. He had to wear it. In that situation, whenever I go and do shopping, I could not only shop for myself or buy for myself. I had to consider the fact that I stay with someone in the house. I cannot come with a plastic, for example, from Mr. Price that only has one t-shirt for me. that meant me buying for two each time I'm buying something. So they don't feel like they're incapable and yeah, that I'm doing that because I'm the one who's, working at that time. So I needed to always get something. And whenever I'm getting something for myself, I need to get something for him. So that means not buying for one. Which at that time, I don't know. I don't know. For me, it just came in like that. And no one told me. I think I was just more thinking about, okay, how do I do this without making him feel useless? Because you love this person. And that for you, it is not work, but looking at it now, I feel good. I was scammed, I was scammed. And when you do certain things, like such things, you do them out of love. You do them out of love, and you don't count. You could say, I was doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So now, me guys saying this because I want you who is staying with someone to consider certain things, and you who is moving in with someone to also consider certain things, because if you are not working, it's only fair that you actually do your part as well in the house. And you who is working, it's also important for you to do your part. And if you guys are working together, then that is even easier because now there's two incomes that are coming into one household. So that means we work around how is who is paying rent and who is buying grocery, who's covering this, who's covering that, and all that. And also another thing, guys, that people are not aware of, what's in me staying with this guy. We were not married, we were dating. And his family knew that he's staying with me. So I took it upon myself as well to have this guy insured. I don't know if it's insured or I actually had to put him in my policies now. Because I had the mindset that should anything happen to him, God forbid, he's staying with me, his family will be looking at me. So that means I have to have something to stand on should anything happen to him. That is what happens when you stay with someone. You don't just stay with someone for the fun of staying with someone. It comes with a lot, especially also when his family knows it's Ohlala nawe. It is important, whether married or not, to have them insured or have them in your policies so that should anything happen to him, you have yourself backed up. Well, the family will not expect you to bury him, but you will never know. With families, you will never know. So that is one of the things that I also did at that time. And it made sense then. It made sense for me to do that. So, guys, now I know. Then I didn't know. But now when I see the flags of that, this might be a VAT EN SIT, I can smell it from a distance. No. And you ready to, and you ready to. So, guys, those are things that happens when you stay with someone, when we are in a VAT EN SIT with someone. And also, when we are staying with someone, guys, you have to make sure that there's key copies. There's duplicate keys or whatever it's called, but we both have keys so that we know, would say, when you're not around, I can still be able to have access to the house, and when I'm not around, you have the same as well. But also that comes with communication, where you have to tell me, okay, I'm coming back around this time. At least I know, I don't have to leave the key on the door. Such things. So that's where communication is important. But Moshla Nemulu, guys, it is not up and place. It's beautiful, or when it's what do they call this? When it's honeymoon phase. It's beautiful, but it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of maturity and you being considerate and you putting yourself in the next person's shoes and you being selfless. I think you being selfless and not being selfish. I think that also goes back to when you're in a relationship, even if you're not staying together, but it takes a lot of that when you stay with someone, where we see everything that we do, we share. Even the littlest coins or whatever that is around, we share. So it takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of courage. You need to have a certain mindset for you to be in that position. That was my process, or that was my experience in being in a VAT and SIT relationship or set up with someone. It's not one of the easiest things, but if nirvana, you guys communicate, you guys are looking at, have the same version, like the goal of the relationship, because sometimes you have this thing with you, he will not stay unemployed forever, and it doesn't mean because they need to be loved less because he's not working at that time. But yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to say. I don't know if I actually made sense, but that is what I wanted to say. When you stay with someone, guys, it takes a lot, and it is important also, guys, when you are planning or you want to move in with someone, do not scam them. Sometimes hospitality, like someone they work putting a corner, you feel good, okay, here I'm at home. You feel the need because we can stay together. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Like, tell me, how about then we have an agreement? Because okay, it's fine, we can stay together. But also, if you do not feel like staying with someone at that time, give your reasons. Because you're not ready. If you're not ready, you're not ready. Because there's a point in time where you feel okay, this is suffocating. So you do not want to feel like that in your own space and with someone. So that's what it takes. Communication. Tell me, I feel. How about we moving together? And it's tricky if we both have different places. This mess of me moving to your house or you moving to my house, I think it's safer if we find a place together, especially if you're renting. If it's a house, it's a different story. But if you're renting, I think it's a different story. Because the other one would say, you got me here, this is my place. Forgetting what I made you move from your place to my place. So it's safer if you find a place together. So you won't feel good, now I need to tip it up because this is not my place. Some might disagree, but I think that is my opinion. So, okay, guys, yeah, please, guys, make the next person aware. Make the next person aware. Good see you want to move in and stay with them. That's simply what I wanted to say, guys. And guys, from me to you, it's love. Goodbye.